That's what I should have took a plane ride this morning.
Shoulda, right?
Some people do those countdowns, and I'm like, they're kind of boring. So I had made that short 12-second one. I know when I was doing like a 45-second one, people were complaining, it's too long. It's too long. It's like, to keep people's attention now. And I mean, look at TikTok. It's funny. Everybody was, tries to say, oh, it's too long. Look at TikTok. Now TikTok is allowing 10 minutes.
Yeah, I think it's a matter of time before they go YouTube format eventually. They're going to keep increasing that time cap, I think.
Right.
What's up, Pirate?
Yeah, I don't know if he's here, if he typed that in early this morning or not. He wanted to be first, So, thanks for the people that have joined us. I know that you guys have shared it out, so maybe this is an odd time to do it at 3:00, honestly, but I know a lot of times you guys go live with your auctions at 3, so that's sort of why I picked 3. I should have actually picked later, knowing that, I mean, and people that are watching, I had to change the thumbnail because as you guys can see, I am not in the same room with them right now. I was going to come down, and they invited me to come down, and really I'm kind of mad because I'm missing out on playing Miss Pac-Man. And that's one of my favorite games. I used to go to an old Jay Steaks and Subs and play it. Now that place is not there no more. And see that? You're
cool.
NDD, thank you. I
appreciate
it. Yes, I appreciate it. So,
and to talk about the time, you probably set it for 3 because you'd be here and you wanted to be earlier, so you had time to get back home.
That's exactly why. And I'm just honestly, I left I'm like a little, I remember when I was a little kid and we were going on a school trip, I didn't sleep all night. And I tell you, I got to the trip. By the time I got home at the end of the school, I was tired. And this morning I left the house here in Pennsylvania at 3:30, drove about an hour, and just wasn't feeling well. And I knew that I basically had a 12-hour round trip, and I just said it just wasn't healthy. And I got a hold of Amber early this morning at 4:30 and said, hey, look, I still want to do the show today, but I'm not going to be in person. And I've been, I should have said is I showed up to the old house and you guys weren't there. What was the new address?
I wouldn't even know how to respond to that. Like, how do you respond to that without sounding like an a-hole?
You're like the dumbass. You have to drive another hour. Where the heck are you?
And plus, another thing, it's still dumping raining here today too, so we would have been confined to the house.
Yeah, that's how it was. It was raining this morning, actually on the way down, and I actually was down in South Carolina with Mr. Buys a Lot, another YouTuber that he's a big reseller. He does a lot of that bulk deals, and he's moving his he moved to South Carolina, but he's moving his warehouse down there, and but we rotate it driving.
Yeah,
and that makes a big difference. And me and Steve and Amber were talking about this before the show that we're not morning people, and it sucks.
Yeah, so I am nocturnal by nature. Like my body, if I don't have a schedule or an alarm set, I will naturally just always get on the rhythm of waking up in the afternoon and sleeping in the morning. I don't know why. I've always been like that my whole life. If I don't set alarms, that's what my body just does.
And don't worry, you'll make it down here eventually.
Oh yeah. Well, I've been down there. Obviously, as you guys know, it just is not at the new house. And
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. What is this? Is like this room looks huge, or is it just a camera angle?
I think this is.
I think it's huge for what we have in here. Like all we have is like both of our desks or chairs or computers, and then we have like one little table over here for all the camera stuff. Everything else is just like open.
Yeah. Are you guys in the future going to be doing the auctions from here?
No, I think we'll keep the same setup we have, like we did for the first one. So like he'll stay down here. I'll kind of start down here, and then like I go upstairs to a room like right when you walk to the front door. It's kind of to the left. And that has like a bunch of tables. It has the ring light. It has a little laptop. So like I can see comments for like people that want to see stuff, and I can hear him. And then I have like a little table to kind of show everything. And that's where all the shipping supplies and everything. We just don't want to crowd this room we wanted to make sure that this room looked good for live streams.
Yep.
And clean, and not like it did at the other house where you can just see shipping boxes. It's not really like good for the eyes.
That's why, one of the things I was thinking about too, going live with you guys. It's too bad. There's a football player that does lives. I think his name is Pats. I forget. He plays for this one. He does a big show, and I like how he does the camera angles. But he has people working behind the scenes, so they're able to he kind of has his desk and his camera here, and then the guest is kind of over here, and it's nice because it could pick up when who's talking and stuff like that, not like trying to squeeze a couple people. Not that you plan on having a lot of but you never know. I mean, you guys are young yet, and hey, Saxton, thanks for stopping. You never know what happened to your why is your name so little here? I just noticed that on the it's not even showing up. See that?
Can I change that? Is it too late?
No, but the funny thing is, see how big mine is, and you have it looks like you have a tiny little yellow.
I think because I didn't type. I'm so used to doing auctions, I never type anything, so I just click go.
Okay, yeah. And you know what? I don't go live as much because typically what I've been doing is bringing on a guest once a month, and trying to bring on someone that is well known in the YouTube community, and obviously I've known you guys and that's what somebody asked me on Instagram. How did we meet? And we actually met 3 years. It's been 3 years already.
Has it?
Yeah,
I think so.
It was, because COVID was 2020.
Yeah,
right?
So it was in 2019, and here we are in 2022, and we met through What the Hells.
Right.
I had gone out to them in Ohio and had done stuff with them, and then mentioned they said to me, "Hey, I had said to them about coming back to Pennsylvania, and it was going to be a surprise that I said, oh, another big YouTuber is going to be coming, and I was like, ooh, and you guys drove 3 hours from where you were, I think at the time, into Pennsylvania, and we met up near Harrisburg, and had done the storage unit.
Yeah. Right. The weirdest thing I remember about that trip is when it was us and you had went into a gas station, and I bought one lottery ticket in Pennsylvania and won $400 on that trip. That's for the most I've ever won on a single ticket to this day.
Yeah, I remember because I was getting like an ice cream cone, and I jokingly, I said something to you like, "Oh, there's a lotto machine." And you went and bought a lotto ticket, and and we only probably knew each other about. I remember pulling in that gas station, and we only had probably known each other about an hour at the time. So I know you said you won $400. I'm like, well, good, at least
But at the same time, you're like, I've been living in Pennsylvania forever.
I've actually like 2 years ago, I went to a Burger King and I bought the ticket, and it was the first ticket, and I said, I'll buy one more. It was a $20 ticket, and I won $1,000.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
you have to get to do that.
And then one time my wife was at the dentist, and her birthday's the 13th, and I had gotten ticket number 12, and it was a loser, and I got the next ticket was 13, and it was $1,000. But
nice.
I don't like to carry cash with me because otherwise you're buying too many tickets.
Tell me about it.
The problem is that because we do storage units, you have to carry cash. So now, since I always have cash in my wallet, every time we go to a store, he's like, "Hey, do we have like $30?" I'm like, of course we have $30.
Yeah, that's where you gotta and I mean, I've gone down that rabbit hole where one time I purchased 7 in a row at $30, and they were losers, and the store was closing. I got up the next morning and drove back to that place, which was a half an hour away, and there was a winner at $35, and I'm like,
that's
and my wife is, we worked too hard for that, it's like,
right. But then like your mindset, and I probably speak for him when it comes to this, is like, when you bought 7, you buy another one, it's $35. Now, is the next one the big winner?
It's always like that.
That's what happens, and here in Pennsylvania, even if you win a $20, it's like a lot of times it's 1 in 4, and if you win a $20 one, oh, that's considered a winner, even though it's a break. It's crazy. I don't know. I always question really. I like to audit the lottery because I know damn well a lot of them get thrown away. We were at a place one time, and I saw laying in the top of the can, someone didn't scratch the corner, and I grabbed it and scanned it. It was $10. Yeah,
crazy.
that happens a lot. Oh, all of a sudden we jumped to like 10 people. So hey,
Cool.
thanks for everyone joining us. And obviously everybody knows who the Jeebuses are, but I have in the description their link to both their channels. You guys don't do really much content on your family channel.
No, not too much. I mean, we talk about it randomly, like if there's a unit and we don't really go super in detail with it, then that's when we want to make content over there. But at the same time, since I do that and I kind of do it, by myself in the garage, it's not as fun to me. And also like, it's like I'm seeing all of this stuff again. So it's not exciting to me. So that's why I'm always like, well, like I want content for the second channel, but at the same time, this isn't fun.
Right.
And I'm just like in the garage by myself. I've seen half of this stuff already, and it's like,
I like it, and that's why I want to talk to you one day. We'll kind of talk off the air and on the side one day. Is I wonder if you guys would ever take a little bit more risk and do stuff outside of storage units, more on that channel. I jokingly had said, I don't know if you remember, maybe we could find a place down your way that where get the restaurant to sponsor it. Maybe me and you could do like eat a 2-pound hamburger, and get the place. In other words, we don't have to pay, and they're like, because I always wonder with you guys is how do you keep growing, sticking to your niche? Without, because you guys, when you think about it, even though you're on YouTube, you're still very private in a lot of people that don't know you. I mean, I know you, we talk and we've met up several times, but you guys aren't really going outside of your comfort zone to do different things.
Because we talked about this before too. To me, it's like, it's hard to explain. A lot of people say storage units is like, it's resell, it's a job. To me, like it's so addictingly fun. Like I don't think I'd ever be able to. I don't find as much joy doing anything else. Like it really is just like a love for this. Like I will get up with no sleep and go for 36 hours. It doesn't matter. Like I love the thrill. I can't compete. It's like gambling on steroids because you never know, and you're gonna find a safe at $10,000, a handgun, gold. It's so addicting. I haven't found anything yet that's even close to that level of fun to me.
And I just wanted to ask you about your question also. Are you saying like, how do we keep doing storage units for so long? Or how do you keep going through storage units relevant to build your audience on YouTube?
I think a bit of both. I mean, you guys have, I think about how we met 3 years ago, and you've tremendously have grown the last. It seemed like there was a little quiet period there, but the last year and a half, your channel's really taken off again, and I like even, and that's why I was going to ask you about storage unit. And I've bought storage units. I don't buy at the level that you guys. And from the videos that I gather lately, like you're buying everything. Nothing's live no more, right? As far as bidding.
No,
there's one
very, very little
chain left that goes live, and like we've been there like 6 times, and there's nothing. They haven't even had a thing I would pay $1 for. It's just always garbage. So we literally just stopped going there.
Yeah, because if you remember when we met up, it was live.
Yeah. It's like COVID ruined this. To me, it's pretty much screwed up the whole storage business. It's like a whole different world now since COVID came, because what we used to get for $50 is now $300 because they have to go online. When they were live and it was just, an audience of people that knew what they were looking for and knew how to resell, it was never. That was $50. Now it's like you're almost paying retail most of the time.
Yeah.
Right.
Not only are people still scared to kind of be around people, with the whole mass situation. I mean, that's still a thing. Storage units have also found, since they had to go online, now that they were like, well, this is way easier and we make more money. So why would we go back to live auctions?
Facilities have no motive. They make 3 times the money for half the work. It's just the buyers that are getting, beat up in this situation.
Yeah. And I know the only thing I guess I miss, but in the live auctions, you that interaction with other people, but I've run into situations where they don't want you to film.
Yeah.
You'll get 1 or 2 people that are like, you better not be filming, and it's like, we're not. Like I had one guy kind of start trouble a little bit, and he was trying to tell on me to 2 ladies, and the ladies go, "Oh, we know him."
Yeah.
And they knew me even because they lived in our area, so it's like they knew that I wasn't really. It wasn't more about filming them. It gave 20 seconds to the video, but it was more about kind of filming in the front of the unit and the guy talking and stuff like that. And when I thought about you guys recently, I'm like, wow, they have none of that, because you guys everything's pretty much controlled.
Yeah, but we did run into that, especially a lot. Like during the live auctions, there's always that one guy that's like, it's suspicious to me. It really is, where they act like, you recording them is just gonna ruin their life. It's awful. They can't be on camera. They get angry, aggressive, and I'm just like,
yeah,
what are you hiding from?
Right. So
that's my question. Like, what do you not want people? What are you so scared of the world seeing? That's my question.
And the other part of it is like, if I have my phone and I'm recording, right? You don't want to be on camera, correct? Yes. Get out of the way. Go that way. I'm not recording you. You're not a celebrity. I don't care about you. I don't care about recording you. So just get the heck out of the way.
Right.
That was one of the things when I was doing lives, storage buying. I noticed the same crowd, especially within an hour. And we would see the same people, and you kind of knew who you could say hello to, and who were the friendlies and the ones that just didn't want to, because there are people that aren't associated obviously with YouTube and do a lot of they have a store somewhere, or they're flipping it on Facebook, or they're doing flea markets with the stuff, and they sort of don't want the competition because you're kind of driving up the price, they feel. And
That's exactly what I'm always thinking in my head when I get that mad.
Well, what I was thinking is that you got some people, I don't know, maybe they're doing things they shouldn't be doing because of the IRS or unemployment or things like that. And now the audience is bouncing up and down like crazy.
I know. I keep looking at the number.
It keeps going. It was up 10, now down 10. So, we're talking a little bit about storage. It's back up 5 storage units because obviously that's what the Jeebus family does. And now and I don't really know this question, but I know that you guys have tried several YouTube channels before. You were doing gaming, right? You said?
Yep. That one it's so competitive. There's so many millions of people doing it. If you're not like,
you have to be super unique.
You have to be so different, which is so hard when there's 5, 6, 7 million people doing it all at the same time.
Yeah,
crazy.
That's where my kid got stuck into where people and then you get, it sort of becomes, I feel like, a pyramid scheme where you got people trying to talk you into like, oh, join this and join that, and you can do this and you can, and he's wasted a lot of money playing gaming, and it's like, oh, well, if I get, it's not as easy to get that many subscribers as someone who's been established doing it for, that's part of what they do is to kind of recruit people, and it sort of reminds me of a pyramid scheme. So that was the first channel.
Second, I think the first one we did, remember, was the Omegle videos. This is like, it's a really old school thing on YouTube. I used to go on those like live chat rooms where you meet with strangers, like
basically looks like this.
Yeah, except they would connect like 2 random people around the world. And it was like this thing on YouTube where people would just go on there and do things just to shock and mess with the other person. Like, for example, they'd pop in like stupid costumes, stupid background. It was just funny. And it was like a big thing on YouTube back then. But then people started filing privacy complaints against those videos, so it started dying down drastically.
Okay.
But that was the first thing we did.
So we had that. You had the gaming channel with your friend a long time ago also.
That one had 1.1 thousand videos and grew to, I think, 1,100 subscribers. So they get like an average of 1 subscriber per video in gaming. That was in 2014 too. So I can't imagine how competitive it is now in 2022.
So then after that, was that Trolling Keys?
That was, we had another one that was a video. It was like, this one was more real life kind of trolling, I guess. This is what we would go in like a public store. Brandon and our cousin did this with us, and we'd walk up to strangers and just ask them if they would answer a question for a school project, which is obviously a lie. But we would just think of the most stupid question that would just shock people and just get their reaction on camera.
Like, why are there gerbils on Uranus?
Yeah, that's we said, why are the gerbils and the guinea pigs fighting in space? And they would just be like, you know, their reaction is just hilarious. Their reactions when
people are, you know, maybe YouTube was too big or the videos were, but now people are sort of doing that on TikTok.
Yeah.
In other words, they're going up to Walmart and you know, people will pretend like, you know, like, hey, could you tell that I'm out? You're my uncle, and they'll get somebody, you know, and you know, guys that can be brave enough and have someone else to film and be able to say, be a little bit obnoxious are doing okay on that. But everybody, you know, the problem is that's not even as easy now because everybody wants to, you know, it's amazing how many people are social media. They see even on TikTok. I mean, it's amazing how many people are on. Just common people that are, you know, sitting there sometimes doing the dumbest things. I mean, there's a lady. Hey, Mr. Sadie, thanks for stopping. There's a lady I see on TikTok. She has a bookcase full of VHS, and she, you know, oh, this is my movie, and there's like 600 people watching her.
Right.
You know, it's crazy.
I remember seeing a poll saying that's like the most desired job in the world now is a social influencer, either YouTuber, TikToker, or something like that. It's crazy to me because it was such a small select group of people that used to like this. Like, for example, back in like 2012, 2013, it was like the weird kids that kind of stayed to themselves. And now it's the most desired job in the world, which is just crazy in less than 10 years.
Well, that's because everybody thinks it's easy too, and it's not.
Yeah,
and that's part of the problem with social media, YouTube, TikTok. A lot of people want 15 minutes of fame, but they don't realize what's involved in it, and it pretty much has got to become your life. You know, that's, and I was thinking about when I was ready to drive down today, and I was thinking about that, like when you guys went and now you're in this big, beautiful house. And you guys went and done your bank loan. I mean, what do you put down as a job?
So awkward. We literally, since they come in through Google, or just say content creator from Google. So I guess that's the best way to look good to them, because if you just say you're a YouTuber, they're gonna be like, oh gosh, that's not real. But if I say I work for Google as a content creator, here's my pay stubs, they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that was also like, I don't know how we did it because we have the LLC now.
Yeah, that's another thing. We got our LLC
like
set
now,
up.
Technically, I mean, we work.
Yeah,
we're Treasure Hunting with Jeebus.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So we can put that LLC, and we don't have to put Google anymore. Therefore, then they look at the LLC and they're like, okay, like it's a regular business. They don't really have to look past that.
Right. Yeah, because you guys are more YouTubers, and then you do when you do the auctions and the reselling, and because I even though I'm a small YouTuber, I have to Google, use the 1099 Google form, and it's kind of weird. Like, Google, you work for Google, you know?
Right. It sounds good though.
Well, and then even at the bank, and I get my because I've had health issues. I buy my health care through through the marketplace, and I pay like, and you have to give them that, and they're like, what do you mean you work for Google? And I make, well, who the hell? And sometimes you're like, you're like, who the hell wants to watch you? Yeah.
It's
every YouTuber thinks.
Yeah. It's hard to explain to people that aren't in on it or don't understand YouTube. Like, it's just so hard to explain. And they're like, wait, you make videos? Like, yes. And they're like, so Google pays you. Like, it's paid through advertisers that pay Google that then pay us, and they're so confused. And then the conversation usually ends there awkwardly.
They're like, okay, and we just kind of like part ways.
Yeah. Now, luckily for you, I mean, even you've been doing it now, because a lot of times when you want to buy a house, you have to show 2 years worth of income. And how long have you officially been doing the storage treasure hunting with Jeebus channel?
So I mean, we started this channel 2017, but that was all dumpster diving, and we
for
bought
a year.
Yeah, I think we bought our first storage unit in October or September 2018.
Yeah, September 2018, I think.
And that video, like, cause like I always tell people the moment I was watching what was not Storage Wars, the other show called Auction Hunters, and we watched like through all the episodes. Then I went to YouTube and I wanted to look for more storage unit buyers, and I typed it in, and there was nobody on the platform doing this but Pirate, and I was like, this is wide open deal.
Pirate was the first one you saw?
Yeah, he was the only one
that
I
we saw. Yeah,
he was the only person I saw. Then he was only doing like some shorter clips at the time. So I was like, nobody's this taking. It's popular because of how successful the TV shows were, and I was like, nobody's taking this to YouTube yet because like this is a wide open playing field because we have the evidence with the like Storage Wars having millions of fans. We have the evidence that people want to watch it, but I just couldn't believe that no one has taken it to YouTube yet. And I was like, this is what we're about to do right now. We got to take it to YouTube.
Yeah, you had that aha moment, which was, I mean, luckily you didn't glaze over and like, because that's the problem. Even being a reseller, a lot of people don't want to do storage units. You know why? Because it's hard work.
Yeah.
The backbreaking, the dirtiness of it, the a lot of times you run into a situation. There's a lot of storage units I go to. People won't buy if they see a mattress, they won't even bid on it.
Yeah, we were like that at first, not because of the dirtiness, because when we first started, all we had was a Toyota Camry. So if there's anything that wouldn't fit in the back seat, I couldn't bid on it. And I had to pass up so many things I thought would look good because of a dresser or because of a mattress, and it would drive me crazy back then.
But then again, we got a lot of like our best units at that time too. That kind of helped us grow the channel. Like even though they were small, they didn't have like a lot of stuff in it. Like most of them were in Maryland, so they had like good backstories and Jordans and, stuff that people like to see.
Right.
For the story side of it.
Yeah.
When was that first unit? Do you remember like all of a sudden, you typically get, let's say 3,000 views on a video early. And then all of a sudden it's like you wake up one day and you're like at 30,000 views and you're like, oh, like this is crazy. Like
it was like, so I have two moments like that I can remember. When we did our first storage unit, like our dumpster diving videos would average around 1,000 to 1,100 views after a couple of days. And we bought the first storage unit, recorded it, and then within 2 days, it was at like 11.6. So I was like, holy crap, like at 10 times what we had seen before. And then 3 units later, we bought a unit, and I found the guy's wart and everything. He was like wanted for drug distribution. So I was like, this is a drug deal. I put that in the title. Then that was it. Like that one blew up to 1 point some million views in like 2 weeks. And that was like the moment where we're like, okay, we can do this. We can quit our jobs, do this full time. Like I know how this works now. And that was
you were doing, so when you first started, you had regular jobs?
Yeah, or part-time. We were both in college and we were both working like part-time on the side. So we were both in school full-time. I was walking dogs at the time doing that, like working for a dog place, just doing dog walks. It was only a few hours a day. Really, because I would go home and work on YouTube because I just wanted something that would only take a few hours a day. So I forgot what you were doing at the time when I was doing the dogs.
When he was doing the dog walking, I think I was a baker's assistant at Giant, like the grocery store. And then like when we started, doing it more, I was like, okay, well now I don't want to work, in this place full time. So let me do dog walking too. So I found another dog walking company and kind of let us be part-time.
And then we stayed there until we had like 6 to 8 months of like consistent good pay to where I felt comfortable. Like, okay, we don't need this job no more. I wanted to make sure it wasn't like a one-off month that was going to be crazy. And then it would go right back down and we'd screw ourselves by quitting.
Yeah.
So I waited like 6 to 8 months before we stopped working.
Now, were you when all this was going on, were you still living at home yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're still living with my mom.
Yeah.
So that makes a difference.
Yeah.
It does. It does.
They let us take risks, like drastic risks.
And we definitely always thank her for that. Because she always says, stop it. But realistically, like she did help us grow in that way, because she gave us the chance to take risks when normally people at our age, they can't, because they don't live at home, and or they have like, family situations, they have kids, blah, blah, blah.
Right. I was 17, so when I had a kid, and obviously you can't do certain things, because there's another human there to support. So it's good that you have, and I see how you are with your family. I mean, how you support Brandon and your mom, and happy birthday actually to your mom. It was her birthday yesterday, so I sent her a message. That was great that you had her to support you, and it's paid off, obviously.
And that's why we're kind of paying it forward in a way for like Brandon and his girlfriend, just giving them the opportunity to have this time to take risks, because that's the opportunity that we were given.
Right. And that's why with my mom, I always told her, like, don't ever worry about having to go do something. Like, you're always you always, as long as you want to, you can stay and live with us and not have to worry about anything. Because like without that initial risk-taking moment, I don't know what we would have done.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a big part of it.
And you guys, you think about how young you are. I mean, 28 years old, and I think people sometimes assume you're a little bit older because how much you've accomplished already in your young age. And do you see yourself? I mean, I know you're doing a lot, and we had actually talked about this 3 years ago. I remember we stopped at McDonald's and we had a talk with Jeremy and George, and we were talking about Facebook. And I remember Jeremy going like, "Oh, that's interesting," and no one really was putting videos over there yet. And it was just, and now you've seen that be successful also.
Who was the first one that kind of turned us to Facebook?
That was Emmanuel. It was like in California. He does storage units in Spanish, but he said like he was getting twice, 3 times the views and revenue putting the same exact videos on Facebook that he was on YouTube. So I was like, holy crap.
I think it went from like Manny to like Jack, which went to us, Pirate, Storage Stalker, and then kind of branched out to everybody after that. But I mean, if it wasn't for him saying stuff like that, I don't know when we would have done it.
Yeah, because I remember getting roughly an email, and I had said something, and it kind of, I remember it was kind of just shrugged off when we were talking about it 3 years ago at McDonald's, and it was, I didn't know nothing about it either, and obviously I don't make content at the level that you guys do, but I like thought about it. I'm like, there's a lot of negativity behind Facebook, but I think they realized to keep people on the platform, they need to change that by adding the marketplace, adding the video, sort of making it, and that way they could say to advertisers like, hey, people now, because when they watch your video, even they watch it 2-3 minutes, then they get, how it is with videos too. You get hooked into, before you know it, you're watching 10 different videos for 35 minutes, and Facebook is not going away. If anything, Facebook is going to be continue to grow and be different things, and to keep, when the content that you guys, that's why I heard some. I was watching one of your lives just recently, and I heard a little criticism about people watching old videos on Facebook, and I said to myself, look, when you watch regular TV, like I watch Impractical Jokers, I watch American Choppers, you watch repeats from 5 years ago. You could watch a show from 5 years ago, and 2 weeks later it's from 2 years ago, and then there's a new episode. So they're constantly playing, and
it's the exact same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Now, are you guys uploading your videos on Facebook, or is it an outside company?
Outside company now, because this is what I was trying to explain to people, and they don't seem to get it, because I still get these complaints all the time. It's Facebook changed their algorithm to where they're looking at what percent of a video somebody's watching versus how many minutes now. So for example, putting those 20-minute videos on there is like channel suicide. No one's going to watch it. That's why we switched to a company to edit them down to like 3, 4, 5 minutes, because if they're only watching 2 minutes of a 10-minute video, Facebook sees, 20%, this is garbage. But if they watch 2 minutes of a 3-minute video, they're like, 66%, let's promote this one now. And it's like been a rough change. I think people got so accustomed to 20, 30, 40-minute long videos.
That's when we were just kind of downloading, uploading downloading from YouTube, uploading to Facebook. And then we just kind of like switched everything. And I know we didn't say anything about it, but at the same time, we were like, okay, well, let's just see how it does. And then we started getting the complaints, and that's when we kind of had to say something about it. Because people still complain also, like you said, about the old videos. They're just like, where's all the new stuff? But like, you want people to stay on Facebook. That's what Facebook wants. So you don't want to say, hey, our new stuff is on YouTube. So like, what do you say? So then we kind of have like, I've noticed that other people that kind of understand the process will comment and be like, look, their new stuff is on YouTube. Like, this is just Facebook. Like, you can watch it here. But if you want to see what they're doing now, go over to YouTube. So we just kind of rely on them to do that.
Right. Yeah. Hey, Westside Gary, thanks for stopping. Did you meet him in California when you were out there or no?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. I don't remember if we did.
He does stuff.
He's in our lives a lot. We see him a lot.
Yeah,
I don't think we met him in person.
No.
Yeah, he's done auctions, and I think he does stuff with like treasure hustlers once in a while.
And Justin too, right?
Yeah. What's his flipping some? I forget his name. Hey, Betty Webb, thanks for stopping, Mike. Yeah, so now more people are coming. Hey,
we got 57 people. Leave it a like, guys. Leave it a like for Pat.
Boom.
Yeah, that's how hard YouTube is. When I had less people in the beginning, I could get 75. And the competition is there. Picker's Warehouse, that's what it is.
Yeah, we met Justin quite a few times.
Yeah. But yeah, it's crazy.
Cindy.
The algorithmic changes are what throw people off on these platforms because they just do it without announcing it. Like such as Facebook changing their thing. Like they didn't say nothing to nobody. They didn't email anybody. They're just like, we're making a change. We're not going to tell you. I hope you can pick up on it. Good luck. It's like, really?
Well, I saw Google's latest earnings. They said that less people are actually watching YouTube right now.
That's weird.
I wonder why that is. Did it elaborate?
Personally, I think it is because of competition in Facebook and TikTok. You know, at the end of the day, you only have so much time to watch.
Right.
If you devote, 4 hours to something, you're watching, and if people aren't watching you, they're watching. So even if you took a break, sure. I don't. I appreciate it. Yes. What the problem is, I don't go live much anymore, Sydney, and that's what happened. And I was having actually a problem where comments were being disappearing.
So you went through your moderators, kind of got rid of people, or?
Yeah, what was happening is I went through my I was, at one time when I used to go live 2 or 3 times a week for the first 6-7 months, I probably had 50 moderators. And then there were some people that weren't even watching or coming by. And I'm like, well, why the heck do I have them as moderators? And, and I was like, and I was like, and I then there's people complain, some had too many blues. And it's all about, and I'm like, I don't want to get into that. Just
People are always going to find something.
Right.
They're always going to find something.
Come and enjoy yourself, no pressure, keep it PG, family oriented, and
have fun.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. But I tell you, YouTube is tough.
You have a lot of great people, which make it fun. But then you have like the complaint. No matter what you do, people are going to find something to complain about. That's why, like a long time ago, I'm like, I just gave up trying to please people. I'm like, I'm just going to do what I find fun and I think looks good. If you like it, stay. If you don't, buy whatever. Like you can't please everybody.
I mean, I'm doing. Because I am a reseller, I do a lot of sourcing videos, and I have people that don't want to watch Goodwill and Salvation Army, but yet you can have other channels that I actually did a survey. They want me to do storage units and garage sales. That's pretty much it.
Those are my 2 favorite things. For me, myself, but yeah. But it's the thing is, what people don't realize with storage unit is there's such an initial investment for
That's exactly.
Goodwill, if you don't like the stuff, you don't have to buy it.
Well, here's the problem. Where I live in the Poconos in Pennsylvania, I never heard that before, but that's cute. I'm gonna keep that up there a second.
Good one, Margie.
Yeah, that's the quote of the day. Yeah, exactly, Gary.
Agreed, Gary. Have your like handful of people that you 100% trust, and that's it.
Yeah.
I had where I live at I could do Goodwill once or twice a week year round. Plus, it's a $20. In other words, I can walk into Goodwill with $20
Right.
and hopefully try to make 100. With a storage unit, I'm going to typically make a $300 to $500 commitment. Then I got to rent a truck that I do, and I rent vans and trucks, but that's a 2-day, 3-day, so it could turn into $600-700. And sometimes where do you go with the stuff in the winter? And because of COVID, a lot of them were getting delayed. I met up with like if you look back, you'll see me a couple times. Me and Taco Stacks. Well, Taco has a van, and I'd have to rent things. Even then, I even told him, I said, hey, if you're up in my area and you got to get rid of some stuff, just dump it off in my house. I have 17 acres. I can burn, I
always forget that you have like land.
Yeah, and I have a fire pit, so I've burned a bunch of mattresses, and I do a lot of retail arbitrage, which is more towards the Amazon side. But I have learned people don't want to see, unless you're big like you guys. People don't want to see your personal side.
Even with us though, like they'll get a lot of views in comparison, but compared to the storage videos, it's nothing. Like nothing in comparison, like half or less.
You have to be like huge.
You have to be like feel like Mr. Beast and those guys. Then people are like, okay, I want to see what you're doing all the time. But like for us, even there, they'll get like little to nothing in comparison.
Well, one thing I think I agreed with you guys, and I've seen you guys do this lately, and it makes me feel better about it. There's a tremendous amount of pressure if you want to be successful doing YouTube, that in the beginning, everybody was like, oh, you got to do content every day. That is impossible.
Yeah, because if you do it every day, you sacrifice quality so much. Like, people don't realize how long a video takes to edit. Like, it takes me like 9, 10, 11 hours sometimes to get like one video done. And I'm like, how do you expect me to do that every day and sleep and eat and record it? Like, it's not possible.
Yeah, like you guys have done 4 videos like the last month.
Yeah, I'm pretty much trying to stick to Sunday, Wednesday. That's it, like 2 days a week.
Yeah, 2 days a week is like end up perfect.
Yeah, I have enough time to edit it the way I want to edit it and make it look good, and not just force it really quick and skip out on so many little things that I could have done to make it better. Then when it does bad, I'm like, I know I could have made that better, but no, I rushed it.
But and like I also think back to dumpster diving where we did do it like every day almost, and we had content every day. But then again, like we weren't focusing on quality because we didn't know what quality was. Like we didn't have a standard for quality back then. It was just like, okay, we have a video, let's put it out.
Literally, we just record a bunch of clips, slam them together, upload it to YouTube. There was like virtually no editing at all. So that's why we could do it every day, because it would only take me like 10 minutes to put together.
Well, and I always, and we were talking about how stuff gets uploaded to Facebook and stuff. When you think about, like I watch Seinfeld a lot. When you think about a regular TV show, they do 20 to 25 episodes for the whole season.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Now all of a sudden, like somebody was pushing down you got to do that in a month. And it's like, in 6 months, you're trying to do 6 years worth of it's like, and that's why I found myself too, that no, I'm not gonna. I don't know if you guys, this is just me, Kathy, on the screen here. She's from the Lancaster, Pennsylvania area.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I bring her up is she does dumpster diving videos, and that's what you guys did. And see you, Glenn. And I remember joking around with her about having her come on if she hit 200, and she started doing the dumpster diving videos because she was doing that, and she donates a lot of the stuff.
Yeah. And
she grew to like 30,000 like that. And she might even be higher.
It's awesome because it's so like, I don't think she could probably attest to this too. They don't believe you when you talk about the amount of stuff these places like retail stores throw away. Like, you don't want to believe it that you can go to CVS and find 7 bags full of perfectly good food, candy, everything. That I can walk to Barnes and Noble and find 6 boxes of toys not even touched. And it's like, it's irritating at the point. I'm like, why can't you just donate this stuff to people? Why do we have to go dumpster dive to donate it to people in need? Why can't you just do it? Yeah, it's irritating how much it is.
She has 57,700 subscribers. She's only put out 120 videos, but almost 10 million views. I
Yeah,
mean,
awesome.
I wish I would have been that smart from the. I should have sat back and watched, but I was so gung ho of wanting to do stuff that I made mistakes. And there's a couple videos right now on my channel I just don't delete because they get views. In the beginning, you're throwing stuff at the wall to see if it sticks. And I mean, like the one my wife had to get a cast. And I said, well, we had Googled it and we didn't see anybody really getting many cast. And that one has probably 8, 9, 10,000 views, and it makes me like $1 a month. So why take it down? You
Right.
know?
Yeah.
But the dumpster diving thing, we've been talking about it a lot too, because we've been getting a lot of requests to do it. I think we still have a lot of people that started watching us because of that. So we've been thinking of doing that. Speaking of the second channel, like doing that on the second channel, just again, because the only cost is gas. So for us, it's not like I have to invest $400 extra like a storage unit. It's just driving around in the gas, which is kind of bad right now. But it was fun. Like I do miss it. Like I miss the thrill to me, like just the thrill of going around at night, looking and just hoping. Even though you get so much stuff, you pretty much have to donate it unless you have like literally a yard sale every week. Because it's crazy the amount of stuff. Like it's still to this day, 3 years later, mind-boggling to me the stuff we can pull out of those trash cans.
Well, you got to find areas if you're going to do that. Let's be honest, that you can get into the dumpster.
Yeah.
Because I used to be a loss prevention officer for Kohl's,
Yeah.
and they used to have it attached to the building. So because a lot of people would throw stuff in it, come back later to pick it up. There was employee theft. Going on, and a lot of places you would get charged for stealing, even though it's in the garbage.
That's crazy. But
T, thanks for dropping their link. I do appreciate it. And so, what's going on in the next week or two? Are you guys looking at units right now?
Yeah, I mean, we have a long list I have literally at any given time probably have like 10 to 25 on my watch list that I'm keeping up to. There's one in particular I'll maybe show you after the live, just because I don't know who else is buying and where you're at, that I think will do really, really good on YouTube, but I don't want to even put it in the chat. No offense, Dan. It's not that I don't trust you guys. I don't know who's lurking in the background and who's in our area. So I can maybe show you after, but I'm really hoping it does not get canceled and I can get it. I'm like super excited. It goes off, I think, sometime next week. Sometime next week.
Yeah. We don't want to give details.
Yeah.
Now, you guys are doing your, and which I think you're a little crazy, but you guys are still considering doing your yard sales at your new house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
100% going to do it.
We can't take them away. Everybody loves them now.
I love it.
It's
fun.
And then we feel terrible, like, because it's a good cause. I mean, we save up all this money, for any big thing. We've been thinking like of other things to do aside from the Christmas thing, that this money could go towards. So it's a good cause and people love it. And, resellers make a killing. I mean, if they find the right things and we have them for them. So we can't take it away now.
Yeah,
no, I've been to yours, so I know. I mean, honestly, I got a couple things that I made some money on. I was like, you're like, I don't care.
Yeah, go ahead. Because it's like I said, unless for me, it's the only reselling we do is if I can ship it easily in a live auction. Like if I can't ship it in like a flat rate box or something light, then it's like
I don't want to deal with it.
I don't want to deal with that, which I know a lot of reseller people, obviously you can make good money on that stuff. So it's like, I don't know, it's just fun. It's just different interests, you know what I mean? Some people just get such a thrill off coming there and I can get this for $1 and sell this for $20, get this for $1 or $50. And I like seeing the expressions on people's faces because it's like everyone's so psyched.
Yeah.
Sydney, do what maybe Gary says. Maybe because what happened was I gave you the wrench while we were live because T could drop it because she's always been a mod. So maybe that's the issue. So I'm not sure. Only thing I worry is that, I mean, you're young and you said you're going to be in that house you'll be there the next 50 years. And, 40 years from now, if you're not doing YouTube, I remember when you used to have yard sales here,
Yeah. I feel really confident with this house. We invested several $1,000s into a really good security system with cameras, glass break alarms, motion sensor alarms. I can see every around the house, up the driveway, and like if somebody's able to like go Michael Bay like action movie and get through all this, then I'm like, you earned it. Because they're not getting in this house without somebody knowing.
This
like,
is not an
no
invitation for all you guys to like try this.
But I'm just saying that nobody's gonna get in here. Like, I feel confident in what we got put in.
Hi, Silver Hair Stacker.
That's Todd. Thank you for coming by. Yeah, Todd actually I was heading down to meet with them and wasn't feeling too good this morning and didn't want to do a 12-hour drive today. So I said to them, hey, can we still go live? But, they're like, of course. And, but they know how it is too, when you're more of night owls than you are morning.
Yeah.
And
I had a better chance of you saying, yeah, we'll get here. I'll get there at 1 a.m.
We'll just do late night, live.
Well, that was actually part of the problem. I was like, wow, I'm going to get there. I'm like, I still got, like, I would have probably been, I would have been fine at 10, 11 o'clock and even doing the show at this time, but probably around 8 o'clock at night, I would have been like, oh no. Yeah. And we saw last weekend when I was going down to South Carolina, I never seen so many accidents, and there was 7 cars pulled over. Silver-haired Stacker says, Jeebus, what a great channel. Love it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Todd's known me now for a couple of years too. He never says that about my channel.
Oh, Todd, give Patdees some love.
What is the and what's the most amazing thing that you've found and sold in a unit and found and kept?
Man, this is always the question.
I know. So found and kept, I would. Now it's not something that like we want to keep and hang up and everything, but it'll always be the copper panels.
Oh, yeah. Do you still have those?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's so much mystery behind them that we're scared to do anything with them until we find the perfect place or person or something. I don't know.
Oh, wise ass. I would love to. I wish, to be honest, because of my style and like telling stories and nostalgic, I've seen those, and I think I might even took 1 or 2 pictures when I was down there at the old house. I'd love to actually take them to a place where someone could even do a story on them, and even if they didn't get sold, could basically say, hey, yeah, those are worth X amount of money, and then get sort of like what was that show? It's sort of like on the PBS network where they go and they say, oh, these things are worth, and they really know the history of it.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's if maybe in the future we could look into that, coordinate something when they're coming around. You know how like my uncle passed this doll down to me, and that doll was from 1787. So I wonder if that's possible sometime that we could. Even if we can't use their footage, but maybe we can a clip or two. We'll have to figure that out sometime.
Yeah,
it's not like you guys have $25,000 into them and need to get
right.
We paid I think $200 for that unit. And it had like $3,000 in video game equipment. Like I bought it because I saw video gaming stuff. I had no idea what those were. If somebody didn't say it in the comments, those were actually about to go out at one of our yard sales in California because I didn't look it up. And somebody
you did. Oh, that's right. You did yard sales with Alex.
Yeah, they were literally going to go to the yard sale because I had no idea what they were. And somebody said, look them up. And I looked it up and I was like, holy crap.
But we also found the paper. There was a paper that we found in the unit eventually that had that appraisal from 2002. So that's when we were like, okay, that person said something. Now we have this paper. Now we have to contact someone. And we got I guess you could call it a COA from the artist's wife, because the artist passed away, but she still has a gallery in Hungary. So we got information from her. Yeah, but like as far as the piece itself, like every auction place or person we talked to, they were like, we don't have experience in selling that artist. Like there's nothing that we can do for you. So we were just kind of like at a loss, and we were like, okay, well, let's just hang on to it until we find a better option. Maybe it'll pop up one day.
Yeah, that's it. The Antiques Roadshow. That's it. I couldn't think of it off the top of my head there, but yeah. I just love that stuff. Nowadays a lot of people, that's what I worry about. Younger people, they don't seem to want to keep or collect nothing. All they care about is watching TikTok or changing their phone every year.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it, 50, 60 years from now when, your family, and they go in and you have like 1 million Dragon Balls.
Yeah. They're going to have a heck of a collection to get rid of. Or do something with one day.
Now, is that more you, or is there something that Amber's like, hey, wait a minute, I got to start collecting something too? Or
so I watched it since I was 6, and then when we got together, I got her to watch it, and then she also started loving it. So then it just became this thing. Like that's what we just do, is just go around and look for toys we don't have. And it's become like, since we've gotten such a big like horde together, it's so hard to find things now. So it's almost like a scavenger hunt. Like we'll just pick states, and like last month we just went to North Carolina and South Carolina and hit up all these mom and pop stores just looking for like random little things we don't have yet. And it just become like this fun trip now.
Yeah. So it's not only the show that we like, but like the fun that comes with the hunt of the items.
Yeah.
Same with like the UFC. Like, I mean, he always watched UFC before me, and like now I kind of got into it, and then it's fun meeting the fighters and getting the signatures and whatnot. But I mean, the only collection I have is like a little collection in my closet of Land Before Time, and that's just something that I like.
Right. When I was at the old house, I got to go in, and I was like the one living. It's like the living room was all Dragon Ball Z, and I was like, wow. And then you guys showed me a couple of the things that I had given you through Mr. Buys a Lot and stuff, and it's like, and I thought, oh wow, they're gonna have like 10 of them. You guys had hundreds of them. And do you ever record any of that? Like, is that something maybe you could throw up on TikTok or?
It's crazy how long we talked about that.
I know we definitely could. It's definitely like an avenue that we could go down, but at the same time, we're like, this is like something that we like to do together. We don't want to make it not fun by having to record it every time.
Okay.
And have the stress of recording it. But yeah, I mean, I think when we talked about it last time, we were like, yeah, I mean, the people would watch this. Like there's a goal to it. Like we already have a good start, so it would be like eye-catching to people. I mean, it's a good concept, but at the same time, it's like,
would it be worth it? Because financially, that's the smart thing to do. Because if we made a channel on it, then anything you buy is then tax deductible because it's part of going to the video. So financially, it makes like the most sense. But then at the same time, like she was saying, is it going to get to the point where like, gosh, I don't want to take the camera in this store. I don't want to make this awkward. It's, like trying to record in stores can be so awkward sometimes, depending on the owner and the customers. Like if somebody reacts awkwardly to you and they make a big scene about it, you're like, for me at least, I'm thinking about that the whole time. Like, is somebody in there going to be awkward and react and make this whole
experience? Well, I mean, even you don't. I mean, you have the ability to say like, hey, we're into this. We collect these, and one good thing about action figures is that appeals to a wide audience because you can have 20-year-olds and then 50-year-olds who couldn't afford them 20 years ago are buying them. So, and is that a Japanese?
Yeah. I mean, it's originally in Japan, yeah.
Right. So then you have that audience that appeals to that. It's just me kind of thinking outside the box of I mean, you guys have grown tremendously. Do you ever get to a point where you say, okay, what is the next step to get to the next 100,000? Like, do you think, I mean, you
trying to come up with ideas. Like for me, it's coming up. I literally will like go for example, Storage Treasures, the website we buy the units for. I'll go through there sometimes and like filter it to say most expensive and look for keywords, just stuff that come in my head that like, what would grab somebody's attention if I put like a certain title and thumbnail on YouTube, and I'll just look through units and be like, depending on what's in it. Obviously, it's always a gamble. Like I can buy one with boxes and it can end up being insane, but like
all closed.
Yeah, the one I'm talking about, I'll show you afterwards. Like I feel like that one will be like, I feel like guarantee it's a 1 million view video if we get it and it doesn't get canceled. Like I'm almost 100% confident in it.
But to add on to that is like, this is how we kind of have to explain to people that are like, hey, I want to get into the storage buying process or the storage buying world. Is like, it's hard for us to give advice because like when we go to Storage Treasures, he's looking for, okay, like, is there any items that I can make this video interesting, or that points to this story being interesting behind the owner? Or is there an item that's like, whoa, like nobody would think that would be in a storage unit, to where everybody else is like, okay, that's worth 300, that's worth 200, this is worth 200, like I'm gonna bid 500. Like it's
the reseller
so
perspective versus a YouTuber perspective.
Right. I mean, if you bought a unit for $1,000 and found a $40,000 Spider-Man comic book graded in there, I mean that would make a great story.
Yeah.
But that's far and few between. But obviously it does happen. And look at Locker Nuts. I mean, bought that unit in what, $150,000 plus of trains.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, and yeah, you say trains. These aren't the trains that you buy at Walmart. I mean, right. I bought a couple actually from some. I bought like not a lot. I spent $150 on, and the only reason I spent $150 because honestly they were like $400 items on. So I just got lucky, and yeah, we're getting. Usually, I typically do these for about an hour. So what we're going to talk about, and there's so much we could talk about, and we have talked about on the side. But I want to talk about the Christmas. When did this idea come up? And I was actually supposed to participate in the Christmas with them, and unfortunately, my mother-in-law passed away Christmas week.
Yeah.
And they had invited me down to do it. I was going to come down and family first. And I like the idea because as a kid, Salvation Army did stuff for us. So for someone to be in your position and give back, I always think that touches my heart. And what kind of was that moment that you said I'm good? Because honestly, a lot of people don't have to do it, and you guys are having fun with it. You're dressing like Santa. I mean, you even wanted me to dress up like an elf, and
yeah. For me, like a lot of it has to do with my grandmother who passed away in 2018. She was like the Christmas, like anyone that knew her associated her with Christmas, and we used to watch those videos of other people doing that. Then I just remember saying like, I'll be able to do it one day. 100% I'll do it one day. And that was for me. I don't know about you.
No, I mean, I just going off of that idea, I mean, we always think about like most of the time anybody in a bad situation, especially if they have kids, like the kids have no control in the situation. So they're just kind of like there and going through this, and like there's nothing they can do about it. It's usually always the adults' fault that are putting these kids in this situation.
Yeah.
So like we're like, okay, well, I mean, Christmas is like, kids think about it. It's like the biggest day of the year, and oh my God, it's Christmas, and you get all these presents and everything. I mean, aside from Christmas, maybe their birthday, which I mean we could do down the line too, but that's literally just the main goal was to focus on kids.
That's what I was gonna say, because it sounds like what I'm gonna say. This sounds kind of mean, but it's just my mindset. It's like some adults get put in crappy situations that aren't their fault. That happens. But like she said, with a kid, it's never their fault. Ever, 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 ever. Like an 8-year-old, a 9-year-old, whatever situation they're born into, it's never their fault.
Yeah.
Like some adults could control their situation and choose not to. There's some that get put in terrible situations. Yeah, I agree. But there's so many that put themselves in crappy situations and then,
their kid has to pay for it.
Yeah, their kid has to suffer for it when they had no control over it.
I relate to that story 100%. Yeah. Hey, LLS Basher. Yes, that was Jason. I saw his wife posted something on Facebook. They were at an estate sale. So that's who that was. Went to Lake. I just think that, and I know that you guys have plans to keep doing this going forward. And it feels good to, my kids are all grown up. So I've done, when I was in the restaurant business, I was doing the same type of things on a smaller scale. We were giving to customers and doing special things. And I'm hoping that you guys will continue to do it. It just feels good. It feels good. Yeah. And
know the difference you're making. And it's just like when you can have like the most fun time of the year and then you also make a difference in this many people's life, it's like a win-win. And you have thousands of people that love to sit here and see it happen. Like on YouTube, it's like you're changing so many lives. You're changing the perspective. And if we can put that video out and 1% of them are like, dang, I should go do something like that. That's the
Right.
fun of social media to me, because if 500,000 people see it and 1% say, let's go do something, that's 5,000 more people that are going to go out and do something like that too.
And like with any good video on YouTube, you always have like that little percentage that are like, oh, you're just putting this up there to gloat, when like that's not the point.
Yeah, it's
like you can't pay attention to those people. It's just like any other hater on YouTube. You can't pay attention to them.
No, but it goes. You guys are successful and willing to take the time to give back, and what the hell's wrong with that?
Exactly.
Nothing.
You know that's how I look at it, and
the logical way too.
You know, and, I've always said I want to do, and you know, and let's be honest. Not everybody in life, even if you can volunteer if you don't have money. You could help somebody by, you know, being in line at Burger King. And I remember I was in Burger King, and an older lady and a guy came in, and I gave the guy $20. I said, here, and I'm walking away, and then they go, do you know that? And I said, no, I don't know him. But I looked at it like going back to where we were talking about the lottery. You know how many times I've bought a lotto ticket and scratched it off to throw it in the garbage?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what feels better is when you're buying an older person or somebody's food, and you're like, that feels a lot better than throwing that lotto ticket in there.
Yeah.
Just like with the whole giving back thing, we have again. I'll talk to you. We'll talk to you after this for a little bit. No, we have another big, like really big thing in the works. So we have like other people working on getting the right connections, and if it works out, it's going to be like massive. But I don't want to put it out there just in case it doesn't work out.
Right.
We end up getting screwed up, but I could tell you that whenever later today too. It's
right. Yeah, and you know, I'll be honest. I'm so thankful that through sometimes the BS of life, that you guys have always been so down to earth and loyal and good to me. Because again, you don't have to be.
I just don't. I don't understand people to put on an act. Like I said before, what you get in a video is me. You know what I mean? I don't understand. Why be mean to somebody that doesn't give you a reason, and then why put on a fake personality?
Right. Fake personality thing is like so complicated to me. And we talked to like when the Ohio YouTubers come down, we're just like, or if somebody wants to start a new channel, we're just like, be yourself. Because like trying to keep up with lies and different personalities, like on and off video, starts to get really annoying. So why do it?
Yeah.
And you guys are so down to earth and humble, and you don't shut people out. Like some people say to me, you know, there's been comments, oh, you only kind of talk, you want something. I don't ask for nothing.
Yeah.
I've never asked for money. I mean, we talk, we don't, it was funny because we didn't even talk YouTube. We're talking, you know, and it's just about making friends. And if you want to see people, do I want to learn from you guys what you're doing? And obviously you want to see other people be successful. Right. But, you know, I appreciate how you guys in that you even were willing. I felt so bad actually that today I wasn't going to, and I said to myself, well, you know, Pat, you got your own health, and you got to think about it. And if you can't drive 12 hours today, you're just going to have to see him some other time again in person.
Right. Yeah.
And I mean, I felt bad for you just because, like, I mean, you couldn't get exactly what you wanted, but at the same time, we're still doing a lot. Yeah. Like, that's at the end of the day, live is still happening.
Maybe it's good for you guys. I don't live 2 or 3 hours away, because I'd be over there every weekend playing Miss Pac-Man.
I need my high score to stand a little longer. I feel good about it until I feel like you beat it.
You'd be like, wait a minute. We should have got the one that accepts quarters if he's going to be here all the time. You know, it's good to hang out with people that are just looking to have fun and not. I'm not a party guy. I don't drink. I don't do, and you know, and it's fun talking about the stuff in YouTube and seeing what you guys do and the storage units and I'm hoping that we can be friends for a long time and in the future do things together that is just fun. Yeah, exactly. You know, I have a lot of ideas that I think are neat. Are they good for YouTube? I don't know. You know, but you know, life is, you know, life goes fast. You know.
Yeah. I don't understand the whole what you were saying earlier. Everybody thinks you're just trying to get something out of somebody. It's like I feel like so much of the population is like incapable of thinking about things non-financially. You know what I mean? Like it's just we're two people, you're a person, we have common interest. Why can't we just be friends? Like what? Why is it always got to be like somebody's trying to get over on somebody? It's like no, we just have common interest.
Right.
That's it. We're just people.
Yeah, I mean, I went and helped T, and she bought me lunch, and I didn't ask for. I just went with Mr. Buys a lot. I told him I don't want no money, and you know what he did for me? He says, "Oh, I'll give you some stuff that I can't sell," and he goes, "You take it, you sell it, you keep the money." But he didn't, he didn't give me no money. I paid for my own lunch the whole way, and it's just a matter for me of hanging out with like-minded people that want to. Have fun and get ahead and do good things. And
right.
That's why I do it. So, but I do appreciate you guys coming on. I want to hold this at an hour. It's an hour, 10 minutes. Thanks for everybody that did stop by. And if you guys could give me thumbs up, and if you're watching this in the replay, I greatly appreciate it. And thanks to the Jeebuses for you'll see us again in the future. We'll be doing stuff, and because I mean, there's even more we could talk about. Because I like I like the yard sales. You'll see me there and doing stuff. So I do appreciate it, and thanks again, guys, and thanks for everyone being here. You guys have a great weekend.
Bye. Peace out.
Peace out.